12 Strong, a film directed by Nicolai Fuglsig and starring Chris Hemsworth, is about the first US soldiers to fight in Afghanistan after the 9/11 attacks. I really didn't know what to expect going into this film. I personally haven't seen many films about the Afghan war, and I'd never heard of 12 Strong, so I was pretty much going in blind. After watching the film, I am pleased to say that I was very impressed. I think that the first thing that I must comment on is the fact that this is a true story. I've always found that knowing that a story is true and that it actually happened gives it a certain weight while watching it. So basically, the whole premise of the story is that Chris Hemsworth's character, Captain Mitchell Nelson, is assigned to lead him and his team, composed of 11 other men, to drop in the northern parts of Afghanistan. From there, they are tasked to meet up with General Dostum, the leader of the local militia who are enemies with the Taliban. Their ultimate goal is to take the small surrounding cities and eventually take the city of Mazar-e-Sharif, the country's fourth largest city and longtime stronghold of the Taliban. This film was very interesting from the get-go. In the beginning, it's very clear that the US squad and the Afghan militia do not trust each other, and it's a slow process of winning over each other's trust. The characters in this film are for the most part forgettable, but there are definitely a few standouts. Chris Hemsworth gives a very admirable performance as Captain Nelson. His motivations as a character are to inflict revenge against the Taliban for what they did to his country, and to ultimately make it back home to his wife. Although these are pretty basic motivations for a character in a war film, I thought they were serviceable enough for the story and I never felt bothered by it. The standout character though definitely has to be General Dostum. He's kind of a strange fellow and Captain Nelson at times really struggles to understand his thought process. You slowly learn throughout the film why General Nelson is the way that he is and why he's making the decisions that he does. I think that the most powerful scene in the movie is when they take back a small city after a bloody battle. Dostum reveals to Nelson when the battle is concluded that he used to rule over the city. He talks about how vibrant and lively the city used to be, but now that he's back here and sees his city in ruins, he never wants to step foot in it again. I think this highlights one of the more subtle themes of the movie in my opinion, and that's even if you win a battle or a war, did you really win? Sure, they may have taken back the city, but what was once beautiful has been decimated to the ground. People's lives were destroyed because of the war. Even though I personally think they did win because it led to a chain reaction of liberating more cities and trying to put an end to terrorism, I understand the point that the filmmakers were trying to make with that scene. Another thing that must be commented on is the action scenes in this film are fantastic. It's very easy for an audience member to get lost in the action and not understand what's going on in a war film, but that is not the case here. This film is masterfully edited, and you always got a sense of geography of the battle. The film also cleverly uses maps and combines it with the use of a variety of extreme long shots, so we can really understand what is going on and what their objective is. In the end, I'm very happy that I watched 12 Strong. It's an uplifting story about courage and how two different peoples can unite together to take on a common enemy. Combine that with the fact that it's a true story made me feel patriotic when the film ended and proud to be an American. Well, that's all I've got for today, guys. I'll see you next time.